Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky says he has had a long and meaningful phone call with China's Xi Jinping, their first contact since Russia's war began. He said he believed the call, along with the appointment of an ambassador to Beijing, would give a powerful impetus to the development of our bilateral relations. China confirmed the call, adding that it always stood on the side of peace. Until now, Beijing has sought to show a neutral stance on the Russian invasion. A former Sudanese politician wanted for alleged crimes against humanity has said that he and other former officials are no longer in jail following reports of a breakout. Ahmed Haroun was among those being held in Koba prison in the capital Khartoum, who are facing charges by the International Criminal Court. A ceasefire between fighting military factions largely appears to be holding, but there are doubts about both sides' commitment to a lasting peace. The UN's special envoy to Sudan has told a Security Council there is no sign that warring parties in Sudan are ready to seriously negotiate.
I call on the parties to the conflict, on Generals Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and Mohamed Hamdan Daglo, Hemeti, and the Sudanese armed forces and the rapid support forces to silence the guns. It is incumbent on Sudanese leaders to put the interests of their people front and center. This conflict will not and must not be resolved on the battlefield with the bodies of Sudan's people.
Marking the 37th anniversary of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant disaster, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the world must do everything possible to prevent Russia from using nuclear facilities to blackmail Ukraine and the rest of the world. The Ukrainian president stressed that Ukraine and the world had paid a high price to address the aftermath of the 1986 Chernobyl disaster, the fallout of which can still be felt to this day. Ukraine's ecology minister was among those who visited the plant and laid flowers to the monument to workers who died in the immediate aftermath. An explosion at the plant in what was then Soviet Ukraine sent radioactive material across Europe. About 30 plant workers and firemen died right after the explosion, and many more people died later from radiation-related illnesses. Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny has been seen for the first time in months, days after his associates voiced growing concerns over his health in jail. Attending a Moscow court hearing via a video link, the Russian opposition leader appeared to have lost weight but smiled as he interacted with supporters. After making opening remarks alluding to the time he has recently spent in solitary confinement, his video link was muted by the court. Navalny said investigators had opened what he called a terrorism case against him that could see him sentenced to an additional 30 years in jail. The camera of a journalist shot at point-blank range in Myanmar in 2007 during the so-called Saffron Revolution has been returned to his family. The image of Kenji Nagai, a veteran Japanese video journalist holding a camera moments after he was shot as others flee, is etched in Myanmar's collective memory of repression and loss. His camera, missing for 16 years, has now resurfaced, bringing some closure to his family who flew to Bangkok this week to receive it. In the video he took that day, seen now for the first time, Nagai records the moments trucks full of soldiers appear at Seoul Pagoda. Speaking to his camera, he says, "The army has just arrived and they are heavily armed, yet more people are still gathering in front of the pagoda." Shortly after that, his video stops. And Britain will block Microsoft's $69 billion acquisition of Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard over its concerns it would hinder competition in cloud gaming, dealing an unexpected blow to the biggest ever deal in gaming. The country's antitrust regulator said that Microsoft's commitment to offer access to Activision's multi-billion-dollar Call of Duty franchise to leading cloud gaming platforms would not effectively remedy its concerns. Microsoft said in a statement it remained fully committed to the acquisition and would appeal the decision. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.